Okay. Hi, my name is Carmen Brown, and I am currently making videos documenting the process of me writing my first book. But also, I feel like it's starting to become the just the journey of me as a creative person and an artist in general, and also just me as a human being existing and living life. But I realized I was doing something earlier that I was like, ooh, I should make a video about that. But I feel like for the past few months, and probably longer, and I also feel like this is a pattern that happens with other things outside of this is just, I'm noticing it, but like whenever things start to become real, it's like, oh, this is really happening. And I notice myself getting stuck in that part of the process. Like I'm getting to the point with the book where it's like everything is done and now the next part is like I have some parts where copywriting comes into play, and I need to double check that certain things are okay for me to include, and like I have to figure out how does publishing work and all of that, and that's literally like all I have to do. Everything else on my end is like complete for the most part. It's just figuring out how to put things together and like put it out into the world, and that feels very scary because it's like, oh, like this is actually, I'm actually doing this. And I noticed that's the thing I struggle with in general when I'm doing something, especially something new and different and scary. It's like that when it gets to that piece of the puzzle that makes it a reality, it's like, oh, like wow. And I I end up kind of just falling off. And it's like it's still in the back of my mind. It's still something I'm planning on doing. I know I'm gonna do, but it's almost like I slow down the process. Um or I fall off of it and I have to kind of like get myself back on the horse. But it's interesting because I was talking to one of my friends, a videographer that I work with, Jay, about another project that we're doing, and he was talking about, like I want to get, well, it's a project dealing with this, but it's something different. But okay, that's not the point. He was like, I want to go ahead and do this now. Like I don't want to sit on it, because the same topic of like how it can be really easy to fall off, or just not do something when you sit on it for too long. And then it also made me think about the book The Creative Act by Rubin. I had been wanting to read it for a while and I finally got it and I've been reading it. And he talks about the same thing of like when you sit on something for too long, when you sit on something for too long, it can I got distracted. When you sit on something for too long, it can like deter it from like actually happening and from you actually doing it. And you can end up just like not doing it at all, or it taking a lot longer, and it's like the message or the thing you have to say is coming at this moment in time for a reason. And he also talks about, which I thought was really interesting, and I feel like it's something I'm experiencing, the disconnection that you can feel because when you make something at a certain point in time and then it gets to be that you had made that thing years ago, months ago, then it's like you're not the same person that you were when you made that thing. And so like as you grow and evolve as a person, it's like you might start to feel disconnected from that piece that you made, and then it's just like harder to, I guess, like associate it with you or connect it with you, and it's harder to put it out there because you no longer feel aligned with that thing that you made. So it's like he just, I feel like he was relating it back to like not overthinking things so much and just doing it and putting it out there and then moving on to the next thing. And I feel like that's really helped me because like this was my first time writing a book. And so I feel like I've become really like attached to it, and it's about a lot of like, it's only really about like my personal experiences. So I feel like I've become really, like I was saying, attached and connected to it, and I think it's caused me to overthink things and draw things out longer than I needed to and just kind of become stuck. And so I think that was really motivating reading that from him. And I've been learning and trying to remember to not like put all my eggs in one basket, if that would make sense. But not like have everything be riding on this one thing, because it's like this is just one thing I'm creating at this particular moment in time, and I'm gonna create so many other different things, and I'm gonna be a different person in the future and feel differently about this. And it's like that is what it is. Like, this just represents the person that I am right now, or the person that I was at this point in time. It doesn't represent me, the person, all together in my entirety. But yeah, so I think detaching myself from the outcome and detaching myself from the project itself and just releasing it and not worrying so much about like everything, and just looking at it as like, okay, this is just one thing that I'm doing. I think that's very helpful. Yeah, I think that was all I was really gonna say. That's just something I noticed myself struggling with. And also like just realizing it's not that important. Like, I think I put so much emphasis on stuff and make things so important when it's really not. And just like recognizing that like in the grand scheme of things, like nothing really matters that much. So it's like, if I feel like doing something, just do it and put it out there and see what happens, and then move on to the next thing. And I think that's also something that's been helping me, is I've been getting other ideas for like another book and for other things. And so it kind of is like, okay, well, let me go ahead and do this so I can move on to the next thing. And that's something he brought up too, and I noticed like a synchronicity there. Is he was like you'll notice, Rick Rubin in the book, he was like, you'll notice yourself, other ideas flowing to you. And so it's like you can use that as a push to get through the other things you've already started, so you can move on to the next thing. And he was talking about, I thought this was really cool too, he was talking about how there is an ever going flow of ideas coming through you, but it's like if you don't allow yourself to create and put the ideas out there, it's like you're stopping that flow, or you're like, yeah, I guess it would just be that you're stopping that flow. Whereas if you're just like creating and putting it out there and letting go of the outcome and just experiencing, creating, and letting it be and accepting, then it's like you will have this like ever flowing like river of ideas. And it's you aren't so attached to this one project, because you know that's not the only project. There's also this project that's going to come after, and that project and that idea, and it's not like all riding on that one thing. But I think realizing, like this one thing isn't that important. Like, it is important to me, but it's not the end all be all. And there's so many other things that are gonna come, and that I don't have to worry so much about the outcome and it being perfect, or like, yeah, or anything like that. I can just create the thing and put it out there and let it exist, and just whatever is supposed to happen will happen, and then move on to the next thing. But yeah, I think that was all that I had to say. I just thought about that. But yeah, okay, bye.